live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the 9 p.m. news telecast of the prestigious channel of Sri Lanka. I'm Charita Minuparachi.
And I'm Chitami Jayaratna. Let's take a look at today's headlines.
White House denies intelligence reports regarding damages to Iran after US attacks. A ministerial subcommittee to forward recommendations on the effect of the Middle East war on Sri Lanka. Certain political groups trying to sabotage health sector, alleges Minister Nalinda. A special mosquito control week from 30th June to 5th July. Sri Lankan electronic broadcast to face challenges of the AI era.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with the top story. Israel says Iran's nuclear program has been set back by many years after US and Israeli airstrikes.
It comes after a leaked US intelligence report said that attacks only set back Iran's plans a few months tops. Speaking at a NATO summit, US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says that leak report on damages to Iranian facilities is preliminary and low confidence. President Trump says the ceasefire between Israel and Iran announced yesterday is going very well as White House rejects an intelligence report saying US bombing did not destroy Iran's nuclear sites, only sets its program back by months. Both Israel and Iran have claimed victory in the 12th-day war, with Iran's holding celebrations in Tehran and Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claiming the triumph that will stand for generations. The US president says Israel and Iran are tired, but the conflict between the two countries could start again. Iranian officials have said they will gradually drop the network constraints have been in effect since the conflict began with Israel. President Donald Trump said that China could purchase oil from Iran in the apparent reversal of policy after his administration spent months imposing sanctions on Chinese refineries for buying Iran's crude. Sri Lankan ambassador in Israel, Nimal Bandara, says that a limited number of international flights have been commenced for Tel Aviv airport by several airlines of Israel. Meanwhile, 3 Sri Lankan nationals who left Israel have reached Colombo via Cairo airport in Egypt, according to the ambassador. Those who are in Sri Lanka now will have to consult the concerned agency regarding their air tickets in order to return to Israel. Ambassador Nimal Bandara pointed out that some sort of inconvenience might occur in purchasing air tickets since a large number of passengers expect to return to Israel. He requested concerned parties to call the Israel embassy for further details regarding incoming flights to Tel Aviv in Israel and the airport situation.
And meanwhile, the Cabinet of Ministers has drawn its attention to the need for advanced preparation regarding challenges that Sri Lanka may encounter in the future due to the ongoing heated military situation in the Middle East region. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayathissa made these remarks at the press briefing held in the Government Information Department to inform the Cabinet decisions today. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers has decided to appoint a Cabinet Subcommittee with the following composition and to appoint another committee to assist the Cabinet Subcommittee comprising of the Secretaries to the Ministries to submit the appropriate recommendations as the case may be to the Cabinet of Ministers after closely studying the military situation in the Middle East region and all the fields that may be affected, the extent of the impact and reviewing the expeditious actions that should be taken in this regard. The Ministers of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism, Vijitha Herath, is the chairman of this committee. It is strictly prohibited to involve the children under 16 years old in street begging and trading and to involve the children between 16 and 18 years old in hazardous employment such as housemaids starting from the 1st of July. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers has decided to give its approval subsequent to the submission of the said program. The Sri Lanka Transport Board has decided to purchase 200 new super luxury buses using their own funds. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by Minister of Transport, Highways, Ports and Civil Aviation to purchase 29 super luxury buses through the financially capable depots and to purchase the remaining buses by making a down payment using SLTB funds and the balance to be paid in monthly installments over a period of 5 years. Cabinet approval was also granted to publish through a government gazette the standard operating procedures for law enforcement authorities on the detection, identification, investigation and prosecution of organized crimes related to child trafficking. People's Republic of China has agreed to provide the funds $20 million to implement a project relevant to a project to be converted to general education digital in Sri Lanka. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by Prime Minister Dr. Haruni Amarasuriya to provide all the components necessary to a smart classroom from the selected 500 schools under the proposed project and to establish the network of operations management unit, program operation room and conference room under the project in Uruaya premises. The Cabinet has approved the implementation of projects for the prevention and control of HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria management. The Global Fund to Fight HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria is providing funds for this. 2,000 million rupees has been allocated by the Budget Proposal 2025 to renovate canal systems of the Galoya, Minneriya, Kiritale, Huruluwewa and Rajangane irrigational schemes. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal presented by Minister K.D. Lankan to do the renovations in the aforementioned irrigation systems. The proposal submitted by the Minister of Health and Mass Media Dr. Nalinda Janti Sir for the renovation of Noor Elia Post Office building has received the Cabinet approval. Accordingly, the Cabinet decision to transfer the building and land to the Urban Development Authority will be revoked.
Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Janti Sir says certain political groups are attempting to disrupt the health sector. At the Cabinet press briefing held today, he requested the doctors and hospital staff to not fall prey to such conspiracies. Cabinet spokesman Mr. Dr. Nalinda Janti said that if the authorities feel that there will be a deadly delay in a supply medicines through the Medical Supplies Division, the heads of the relevant institutions are able to purchase medicines and surgical items under a certain system. However, the problem is that some items are ordered to be purchased by certain pharmacies at very high prices. It will be a fraud. Now that investigations are being carried out regarding several such incidents, honest and genuine specialist doctors and health authorities should not have unnecessary fear regarding this matter. People in the country were shocked in the past due to the financial frauds done by former health minister and some health officials. This government has built up the trust of the people on the health sector during the past 7 months. The government now has an updated system in supplying and purchasing medicines. Certain political elements are attempting to create a fear psychosis in the genuine officials of the health sector. The government has received information that such evil elements are attempting to disrupt the health system through social media platforms. Minister said that Sajid Premadasa seems that he cannot protect the councillors elected to local government institutions under his party. Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Nalinda Janti said that whatever party is elected, the councillor want to provide a good service to the people. This cannot be done only with the assessment tax. These institutions should be provided with funds from the ministries and the provincial councils. Some councillors support the party of the majority disregarding their political differences. Sajid and his team are attempting to disrupt this system. However, the situation has now been totally changed. Samajana Balawege is now unable to even protect their own set of councillors. The National People's Power has been able to establish power in the majority of local government institutions with the aim of providing better service for the rural people. Therefore, councillors with the independent thinking are able to support the MPP to develop the village. However, some other political elements are attempting to protect their political power instead of serving people.
And meanwhile, a special dengue control week has been announced from 30th of this month until the 5th of July. This will be implemented in risk-prone areas of identified Regional Health Service Directorate divisions and 111 MOH divisions. 27,932 dengue patients have been reported up to now until during this year. 16 persons have died, where the highest number of 6,034 patients were reported in the month of May. This special mosquito control week has been announced by the Ministry of Health and Mass Media under the instructions of Minister Dr. Nalinda Jathisa with the onset of the southwestern monsoon. Consultant physician Dr. Sudat Samaravira said that the dengue control has to be kept in control since there is no special medicine for it. A commonly acceptable medicine for the people is still not available. The only option available is to control mosquitoes which spread by the disease. The breeding of Aedes mosquito has to be controlled by destroying breeding places, as chikungunya can also emerge and be minimized through this, he added.
ඊඩිස් වගේ මදුරුවන් බෝ වෙන ස්ථාන විනාශ කරලා මදුරු ගහණය අවම කරලා අපි පවත්වාගෙන යාමට මේ මදුරු ඊඩිස් මදුරුව පාලනය කිරීම තුළින් ඩෙන්ගු පමණක් නෙවෙයි චිකන්ගුන්යා රෝගය ව්‍යාප්ත වීමත් අපිට පාලනය කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා. මදුරු මාර්ගන සතියේ සඳහා මම හිතන්නේ
Director General of Health Services Consultant Physician Dr. Asela Gunawardena pointed out that the Mosquito Control Week is being organized with the help of Triforces, police, non-governmental organizations and all other concerned institutions. The support of the people is extremely important in this regard. The minister emphasized that the number of dengue patients in the country can be controlled. A mosquito control program has been organized on the 9th of July in all schools of the island jointly by the Ministry of Education, Higher Education and Vocational Education and the Clean Sri Lanka Secretariat. It has also been named as Clean Sri Lanka Day. The objective of the program is to minimize the spread of dengue and chikungunya. A discussion was held in this connection at the Ministry of Education under the leadership of Deputy Minister Madhura Senaviratne. A host of activities including prevention of the spread of diseases and the removal of mosquito breeding places after identification of them will be conducted on this day. And meanwhile, two witnesses today gave statements before the Parliament Investigation Committee today, appointed to investigate and report regularity and misuse of power said to be committed by suspended Inspector General of Police Deshabandhu Tennakon. Accordingly, in the list of witnesses of Deshabandhu Tennakon, they have given their statements to the Investigation Committee. Attorney at law of the suspect R.S. Veera Vikrama has stated that before 15 witnesses were in the list are due to give witness, including the respondent, suspected Inspector General of Police. After two witnesses provided witness before the investigation committee today, he said that the conducting of witness or the rest of witnesses will not be done. Those witnesses appeared today before the investigation committee. The investigation committee ordered them to be free. Accordingly, the case of respondent ended, and after getting the witness of 7 of them who have been named in the witness list of the respondent IGP, it has also been decided to record the witnesses of another 2 witnesses, and of the 1st of next month was been living abroad on an official matter. Later on, the representatives of the Attorney's General Department and the respondent IGP agreed to forward the written submissions before 3:30 p.m. on the 8th of next month to the investigation committee. The investigation committee met today under the chairmanship of Supreme Court Judge Justice Padman Surasena, Justice Justice W.M.N.P. Idvavala and the Chairman of the National Police Commission E.W.M. Lalit Eknayaka as participants.
The Electronic Broadcast Forum has taken measures to mark the centenary of the electronic broadcast in Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan Electronic Broadcast Symposium 2025 was held in Colombo today in this connection.
Broadcasters held discussions highlighting the past of Sri Lanka's electronic broadcasting, started 100 years ago, and it would lead to develop a new journey within the present artificial intelligence era. Sri Lanka Broadcasters Symposium 2025, organized by Broadcasters Guild of Sri Lanka, is one of the major events in Sri Lanka's journalistic calendar. Here we could see a diverse gathering, journalists, actually working journalists, and senior journalists. At the same time, media heads, CEOs, regulators, government officials and academics. They are here to discuss the future of broadcast media in Sri Lanka. This symposium was jointly organized by Broadcasters Guild, Ministry of Health and Mass Media, and the UN Development Program. Shan Wickramasinghe, who became the pioneer of starting TV broadcasting in the country, who started ITN in 1979, was honored with a special award at this symposium. The present chairman of ITN, Priyantha Vedamulla, was also present at this occasion. Country representative of the United Nations Development Program, Asusa Kubota, addressed the gathering.
We take this opportunity to reflect on our core mandate to support countries in reducing poverty, promoting equity, and strengthening democratic governance, information integrity, access to credible media, and an environment free of hate speech and disinformation are central to our mission. Media is not just a channel of information. It is a public good. It shapes national conversation, reflects public sentiment, and holds power to account. This message is reinforced in the latest Human Development Report 2025, which was launched last week here in Sri Lanka. The report is entitled Matter of Choice, People and Possibilities in the Age of AI. And it highlights how the choices we make today, especially managing information, technology, and AI, will shape whether development becomes more inclusive or more unequal. The role of trusted, ethical media is central to that challenge. But the media space is not without setbacks. Misinformation, hate speech, and the growing influence of unverified content pose serious threats to our social fabric.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayasitsa also addressed the symposium.
Today, as we gather under the theme, Reimagining Broadcasting for the Digital World, we do so not just to celebrate the past, but to look boldly toward the future. The journey of our broadcasting sector from analog beginnings to the digital frontier has been remarkable. But the next chapter demands thoughtful reflection, strong ethics, and decisive innovation. Broadcasting is more than a medium, it is a public trust. In this changing world, where misinformation spreads faster than truth and digital algorithms shape public discourse, our collective responsibility as media professionals, policymakers, and stakeholders become ever more important. The symposium could not be more timely. It brings together a unique mix of visionaries, from technology experts and AI researchers to seasoned journalists and community voices. The topics explored today: digital disruption, commercial sustainability, media accountability, and regulatory reform are at the heart of building a resilient, inclusive, and ethical broadcasting sector. As a Minister of Health and Mass Media, we remain committed to enabling this transformation. The draft National Media Policy outlines our vision, a media environment that is pluralistic, independent, responsible, and future-ready. It seeks to establish an autonomous regulatory framework, strengthen public service broadcasting, support community media, and promote innovation, especially as we transition into AI-enhanced and digitally driven ecosystem. But regulation alone is not enough. We must foster a culture of professionalism and integrity. Shared standards, continuous capacity building, and investment in local content creation are essential. We must also empower our citizens through media literacy so they become not only informed audiences, but critical participants in our democratic discourse.
Following the opening ceremony, several panel discussions have also been organized. Academics and experts held detailed discussions on themes including influence of the AI technology, digital marketing, and media regulatory systems.
Suspended Commissioner General of Prisons Tushara Uppuldeniya has been further imprisoned until the 9th of July by the Colombo Magistrate Court. He was taken into custody recently on a suspicion of aiding and abetting in the incident of freeing a detainee of the Anuradhapura prison against the presidential pardon.
The Chief Magistrate of Colombo ordered to record facts of the court on the 9th of July after completing the concerned investigations regarding the incident. The Chief Magistrate also permitted the request made by Deputy Solicitor General Sudarshi Herath appearing on behalf of the complainant to transfer the suspect to another prison from the present one. When the complaint was called for hearing, Deputy Solicitor General appearing on behalf of the Criminal Investigation Department stated that the suspect had sent a letter to the Secretary of the Ministry of Justice regarding a media report published in a newspaper about a person named Atula Tilakaratna who has also been freed on the Vesak full moon day pardon. A letter has been sent along with the letter sent to the Secretary of the Ministry of Justice on the 6th of June by the suspect. There is a suspicion regarding the letter received from the Anuradhapura prison since there is no seal in the letter along with the date. A reference number was also missing in the letter. Letters of this nature cannot be sent to a state institution. As such, there is a suspicion in this regard that the suspect has also prepared this letter to justify his stand. The Deputy Solicitor General further stated that the Criminal Investigation Department is conducting investigations regarding persons who were freed in the guise of the presidential pardon. Information has also been revealed about persons who were freed out of the list. She added that since he is the chief of the prison department, he is also able to commit any of other things also. As such, there is a possibility of him preparing letters of this nature when investigations are conducted regarding freeing of persons out of the legal procedure. This will hamper the investigations. The police took the suspect into custody after the revelation of justifiable facts. In an order delivered by Supreme Court Justice Lasantha Daguda, it has also been mentioned that a person can be taken into custody whenever reliable information is present. In this case, more than reliable information has been revealed. She requested the court to extend the remand period of the suspect by allowing time for further investigations. The Deputy Solicitor General added that further investigations and President's Counsel appearing on behalf of the suspect today also appeared when he was in service of the Attorney General's Department regarding a homicide case committed by the wife of a former Minister, Belady Fernando. This person has also been freed outside the list of presidential pardon. She also pointed out that the persons alleged of assassination cannot be freed under such a pardon, but such freeing has also been done. Later, President's Counsel Sanat Jaman appearing on behalf of Tushar Upoldania presented facts before the court. He stated that freeing the persons named Atula Tilakaratna, who was also freed from Anuradhapura prison, is legal. He added that there is no proof as to his client had committed any criminal offence. This problem has been raised due to an unnecessary act committed by the Ministry of Justice, the President's Counsel pointed out. The request court to free his client on bail since he has been suspended and he has no capacity to influence witnesses. After considering the facts of both sides, the imprisonment of Tushar Upoldania until the 9th of July has been ordered by the Chief Magistrate.
9th China South Asia exhibition and the 29th Kunming Import and Export exhibition commenced in China recently.
And the national television also represented in this event.
This is a report on the Chinese Kunming flower market, an auction which is considered as one of the major centers of global flower market.
The Chinese Kunming International Floral Auction Market is considered as the largest in Asia and the second largest flower auction in the world. This is located in the Yunnan province in China, which daily sells millions of fresh flowers through an e-auction system. Over 900 auctioneers offer their prices for flower sales in each 3 to 4 seconds. The transparency, speed and the efficiency of this market is at very high level. At this market, over 5 to 6 million fresh flowers of over 1,500 varieties, including roses, lilies, gerbers, are sold here. It is significant that buyers, sellers, flower growers, wholesale traders and many other businessmen meet at one place online. In addition, the largest flower sales center in Asia is also located in Kunming city. It is identified as Dunan Flower Market. This stretches over many acres of land and considered as the most colorful and attractive place. Flower growers, retail and wholesale traders, tourists, artists and many other persons visit this market around the clock. In addition to fresh flowers, tea, beverage, cream, soap, oil and many other flower products are available at reasonable prices at this market. Dunan Flower Market is popular as a place of flower world to enjoy its beauty.
Rupavahini අපේ උරුමය. More stories coming up after this break.
Love rugby,
live rugby.
Prima Kotumi, fun tamai.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Vari Mahima Ape Uruaya program commenced today at Buduruwalagala area, Vallavaya, under the leadership of the Minister K.D. Lankan. This program is being implemented for an irrigation renaissance under a rich country and a beautiful life. It is also expected to complete all remaining work of the Uruaya project before being handed over to the public. Activities of Uruaya project were stalled due to the economic crisis of the country. Minister K.D. Lankan said that all negativities has been defeated. The struggle is not over with the formation of the government, and the people can continue it without any problem. Issues can be informed to the government through representatives, not leaders. In case of delays, protests can be held, he added. Maximum efforts will be taken by the government to solve the problems of the people. One of the main problems is the farmers not getting a proper profit for his products. The farmers should get a justifiable price for his products, and the government will decide the final prices for the consumers after paying a justifiable price to the farmers.
And meanwhile, police say that the dead bodies of 2 persons were killed by shooting have been discovered from the Thorakole area in Medania. The police suspecting the incident occurred following a rift between drug dealers. These bodies have been found from a by-road at the Thorakole area. The victims have been identified as a 39-year-old resident and father of 2 children in Kubukgode area. The others was a 26-year-old resident at the Thorakole area. When they were travelling on a motorcycle, 8 gunshots were fired at a 9mm brand firearm, and they were targeted to 6 shots. According to police investigations, one of the victims was a prison inmate who was released 2 weeks ago.
National People's Power has been able to establish administration in several local government institutions, including the Valvalpitiya Pradesh Sabha, after winning a majority of votes.
3 names were proposed for the post of chairman in the Valvalpitiya Pradesh Sabha, consisting 26 councillor posts. Western Province Council Commissioner Sarangi Jasundara conducted a secret ballot. Accordingly, Sunina Besari of National People's Power won the majority of votes, was selected as the chairman of Valvalpitiya Pradesh Sabha. The administrative power of the Kotmale Pradesh Sabha was also secured by the National People's Power. The voting was conducted under the Central Provincial Council Commissioner AMKPP Chamila Atapattu. Accordingly, Ajit Kumar Muramudiligedara of NPP was selected the chairman, securing 30 votes. In the secret ballot conducted under the Western Provincial Commissioner Kalhari Jasundara, National People's Power was able to secure the administration of Palinda Duvara Pradesh Sabha in Kalutura. Sanat Jivanta, who secured 30 votes, has been elected as the chairman of the Sabha. The vote of the elect to chairman of Navalapitiya Municipal Council was conducted under the Central Provincial Council Commissioner AMKPP Chamila Atapattu. In the secret ballot conducted, independent group together elected representatives at the post of chairman and vice chairman, since no group was able to secure a majority. Accordingly, National People's Power has also secured the administrative power in 203 local government institutions. Samagi Janabalavegi was able to capture power in 27 local government institutions. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna has also secured 3 government institutions, and the United National Party failed to get a secured in a single local government institution. Ilange Tamil Arsu Kachi has been able to secure administrative power in 17 local government institutions, while Sri Lanka Muslim Congress has captured power in 4 local government institutions. Ceylon Workers Congress secured 3 local government institutions, while Podujana Eksath Peramuna was able to secure power in 2 local government institutions, and the other independent groups have captured power in 14 local government institutions. And meanwhile, the Praja Shakti national program initiated by the current government with the aim of empowering communities and ensuring the equitable distribution of economic benefits is scheduled to be launched on the 4th of July at the Temple Trees under the patronage of President Anura Kumar Dissanayake. The initial discussion of the Praja Shakti National Operations Committee was held yesterday at the Provisional Secretariat. The Praja Shakti Operations Committee comprises 9 ministry secretaries and chief secretaries of provincial councils. The program is designated as a multidimensional approach to community empowerment, aligning with the government official policy framework. Along the 3 national level programs being implemented by the government, the Praja Shakti specifically seeks to ensure fair distribution of economic development outcomes to promote targeted, inclusive development across rural areas. Accordingly, the program aims to reorient existing community empowerment interactives already in operation towards a more integrated and a policy-driven approach. Through this initiative, a new structural framework will be introduced to support the identification of developed needs at all levels, policy formulation, implementation and monitoring. The discussion will also cover areas such as the role of provincial and local government institutions, capacity building programs and the establishment of Praja Shakti councils. Secretary to the President Dr. Nandika Sanat Kumanayaka and several other officials were present at this occasion. Stay tuned with international news after this break.
Moving on to foreign news, Ukraine says at least 17 people were killed and over 100 injured in Russian airstrikes on southern eastern Ukraine. The daytime attack came at Zelensky arrived at the NATO summit in the Netherlands for meeting with the European leaders. Ukraine officials said a train was damaged by a missile strike. Southern Eastern Ukraine has faced increased threats recently, with Russian forces making advance and small units crossing the border into the industrial region. However, Ukrainian forces says they have pushed Russian troops back from the area. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky condemned the attacks, calling them a complete disregard for life. There was no reaction from the Russian side on today's attack.
Welcome back to the sports update, and it comes off the first day of the second test with Sri Lanka. Bangladesh were 220 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in their first innings. The match is being played in the SSC grounds in Colombo. Sonal Dinusha was capped as the 170th Test cricketer for Sri Lanka today. Bangladesh won the toss and elected to bat first. They lost the first 3 wickets for 74 runs. Shahmad Islam scored 76 runs as the top scorer in bowling. Sonal Dinusha, Vishwa Fernando and Asita Fernando claimed 2 wickets each. With the capping of 170th Test cricketer for Sri Lanka, we'll be wrapping up tonight news. Do watch us tomorrow at the very same time. I'm Charita signing off.